Hey, hey,
Hey,
I'm Brian,
and I'm Kristen.
and this is the Brian and
Kristen podcast. That's new.
you like that?
And go.
And go. Added a little boom point. We are a brother and sister podcast team, and we take questions from the audience and we talk about all kinds of things in childhood and growing up and everything like that. So we're happy to be there. First off, Kristen, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
How's your
Nothing.
foot?
Oh, yeah. People don't know. I broke my foot. In case you're listening and don't know, I broke my foot about 3 weeks ago. It's okay. 4 more weeks in the boot.
Yeah. Well, even if they're watching, they can't tell because they can't see your foot. So,
Yeah, exactly. They can't see how slow I move, but it's like I'm getting used to it.
yeah, there you go. So, well, we're all wishing you a speedy recovery, and that'll be great. I'm in Atlanta right now doing some shows, and I had an audition for a cop, and I decided to leave my mustache. What do you guys think? Should I keep it? Should I keep the stash? We'll take a poll for the audience. What do you think? Should the stash stay or should the stash go?
I
Uh,
mean, for your audition, it should stay, but
yeah,
beyond that, I don't know. But we'll see what the audience has to say.
yeah. Mia Moore says it should go. I think it's good for my comedy shows, but but whenever I have a cop audition, oh, my hair is doing there. Whenever I have a cop audition, I like to go with the stash. I think it looks a little more cop like.
Yeah.
So so this week, we're gonna get into it here because we got a question from our good friend from California, George Silva, is brought us a question. And for those of you watching, if you ever have a question, leave a comment or do what George did and made a video. So he's made a video for us to answer on the podcast. I love George's videos. So let's see what George has to say today. I've seen this video already, but Kristen has not seen the video, so it will be a surprise to her. So here we go.
Southern California today.
All right, let's start at the beginning there.
Hey, this is George driving through cloudy Southern California today. I was watching the Circle, and a psychic is a contestant on the show, which got me wondering two things for Kristen. One, what's the difference between a psychic and a medium? And two, I guess this could be for Brian as well. If you could be on any reality television show, a competition show, which one would you want to be on?
Good question. Is that safe to be filming a video while you're driving?
well, I think he's got. It looks like he's got a thing that's. I mean, it looks like he. I'm gonna give him. I'm gonna say for George, yeah. I mean, maybe, but it looks like he's got a thing that he holds the phone on that you can do it when you drive.
Okay. I mean, I feel pretty confident with his driving and video skills. I just don't know for any other viewers out there to get the idea that we want driving videos.
But we'll take them. But
yeah, I mean, his hands were at 10 and 2. Okay, perfect. Thanks, George. Rest assured.
And it looks like he was driving slow, and and
cautious.
And he also does jujitsu, so I'm sure he's got quick hand-eye coordination. So.
Okay, well, just concerned about the safety of our viewers.
Yeah, that's true. We need our viewers, especially George.
Okay. Well, certainly I can answer the first part of that. Good question. Most people don't even know that there's a difference between a psychic and a medium. So the fact that you even knew that there was a difference, good for you. A psychic is somebody who can tell somebody about like their own past, present, and future. So for example, that would be working with somebody's energy who is still alive. So I could, not that I want to, give information about Brian's past, present, and future. And then the difference with a medium is somebody who actually communicates with like past loved ones or people who have lived here but then have passed on. So not all psychics are mediums, but all mediums are psychics. So if somebody goes for a psychic reading and you want to connect with one of your past loved ones, if they're not actually a medium, they can't do that. But if they're a medium, they can also give you information about your past, present, and future. Does that make sense, Brian?
So you're saying that if Well, yeah, but I think we got to break it down again. So you're saying that if uh, a medium, so can you predict the future?
I mean, I can know stuff about people's future. Yes. Could I predict what's going to happen like in the world? Maybe if I tried, but I'm not interested in that. And I wouldn't say that that's my skill set necessarily. Some psychics can. So, but that's what psychics do, like information on present, future, and past.
So if somebody's thinking something, can you tell what they're thinking?
Oh, I'd call that mind reading.
Mind reading. Okay.
Um,
Well, that's something that a lot of people think, though.
You're right. That's true. Yeah. And I mean, even if I could do that, I wouldn't want to do that. I mean, and maybe I could, I've just never tried because I could care less. I mean,
Yeah.
and that's why people are like, oh, they can always know what's happening. And they're always thinking or they always know what I'm thinking. That's not really true.
Okay.
Or maybe it is for some people, but not for me.
Because I've had people that when they talk about you and what you do, that's kind of what they are assuming. That's kind of what they get at me. Oh well, then here's an for instance. I really like your and your sister's podcast. Well, of course, your sister already knows it. She's a psychic.
Yeah. I know people will tell me their names and they're like, oh, but you already knew my name. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, why would I? I mean, if I want to know any other information, like, right off the bat, I'm going to know what the lottery numbers are. Like, I'm not going to be so concerned about,
Right. Yeah.
So, I mean, and I suppose people will say, well, can you predict the lottery? I mean, I haven't really tried, but I imagine maybe. But,
Try.
yeah, I know. I need to actually play, see if it works.
So, hey, what's up, Richard Poole? Hey, so you got to start. Okay, so you can kind of, but the main thing that you're able to do is, if with the right focus and the right kind of everything going on, right? It's not like you can just walk down the street and you see dead people, or do you? I mean,
No, I don't. I'm not Macaulay Culkin, right? He was the guy in The Sixth Sense.
what was
Was
the
that the?
one kid, but it was some, I forget what the kid's
Oh,
name.
okay. Well, whatever. That kid.
Yeah.
Clearly, I'm not into movies. No, I don't see dead people because that would freak me out. I wouldn't do this if I could see dead people.
But you do sometimes get.
So I can explain how it works because it doesn't make. I mean, it probably doesn't make much sense because it definitely wouldn't have made sense to me before I knew I could do it. So I can see images. So like an image will pop in my mind. If I told you to picture a baseball, the way that popped into your mind is how I see things. So I get kind of like drawn images. It's not like. But did you get a visual of like a baseball when I said it?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's how I see things. So I get images like that. I can hear words and like kind of phrases, and it will be in my own voice, but it's coming from like the spirit, meaning like the person who's no longer alive. And then sometimes I can feel things. So if somebody died from a heart attack, sometimes I'll get chest pains. Sometimes I can feel a lot of anxiety if somebody had a lot of anxiety. So it's like deciphering what all of those images and feelings and things are that are happening all at the same time to get what the message is. So it's not really easy necessarily, but once you learn how to do it, it becomes easier to put it together.
Yeah, and along the lines of the baseball, like, because I remember you had the one where there was some kind of thing about somebody died and there was a baseball, maybe I forget, was it a Mickey Mantle autographed baseball or something? And the dad who died didn't want the kids to sell it, but they were thinking about selling it.
Right. Yep.
So you get things like that. So it's not like, because I think there's kind of like people think that maybe, it's like the Sixth Sense or something like that, where it's like you kind of get messages and you kind of have to figure them out and decipher them a little bit, right, to help the
Right.
people. So, and then now a psychic isn't able to do that. That's the main difference, right? Because a psychic isn't that skill. If you go to a tarot card reader or a psychic or something, they might not know that part of it. They might not get those messages, right?
Correct. They might not specifically work with people that were alive who are no longer here, but there are psychics that can be mediums. But if somebody's just saying they're a psychic, then they're going to tell you about past, present, future events, most likely, and if that's all they do, then they shouldn't be giving you messages from your loved ones or, people who have died.
Now, how is it that you got this skill or trait?
I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, I guess I think, well, we're all born with it. We all have it to a degree. So, like, an example is like probably everybody could play basketball to some degree, right? But like some people are going to be a whole lot better at it, and then people are going to naturally, and then you can also practice it as well. So, we're all born with it. I guess I have more of a sense of it, and then I've, practiced with it a bit. I've practiced and taken classes and things like that too. So, um, yeah, but like when people say like trust your gut, sometimes you're like, oh, I had a gut feeling, or I had a feeling, or I knew I should have listened to that. Like that's all kind of that psychic sense too. So everybody has it. It's a sixth sense, but we just don't really, people don't talk about it, and people don't really develop it because
And
it's.
and like you said, you also took some classes on it, so you got to study with people who might be able to help you do it better, right? I mean, you got a friend who's one of the best in the world at it, right? So,
I mean, yeah, I think she's pretty darn good. Yeah.
I mean, well, one of the most famous at it, right? She's on TV and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. She, and that's, I mean, she gave me some instructions from the very beginning. And, like going back to the symbols, is that just a symbol in and of itself can have a lot of meaning within it. Like if I saw like a golf bag, like how many golf clubs are in there? Okay, 4 golf clubs. Well, maybe that meant that they had 4 kids. So the spirit world tries to give you as much information as it can with this little, without having to go into a lot. But so it's our job to like try to get all the information out of the things that spirit's giving us. So
Kind of like with dreams, because in dreams there's symbolism all the time, but you got to kind of pay attention or know what it means, right?
yeah, yep.
So, well, that's pretty cool. So hopefully that can tell people the main difference. The main difference is that mediums do have some psychic power as far as uh, people's lives, uh, uh, but psychics don't really do the medium route, which is, uh, kind of going into the dead war, talking to people who passed away, or getting messages, I should say, because it's really more messages than like a conversation. You're per se not having a conversation with somebody, are you?
Well, kind of, but you only really, if you're getting a reading, you only hear the side of like getting the messages. I mean, it's not like a full on like huge conversation, but there can be like parts like, okay, why are like I could be asking without saying out loud, like, why are you showing me that? Or what does that mean? Can you give me more details? Like, so there is part of it where I'm not saying things out loud, but I am like asking questions and I'm getting the answers to that and then relaying it.
Okay, man,
So,
this could be these are good topics. So, and then for the other part of George's question, if you could be on a reality show, what one would it be?
oh, I've always wanted to be on The Amazing Race. I've actually auditioned for that one.
Hey, I wouldn't mind being on that one either. We should get on that one.
Yeah, I think that that would be fun because I feel like just when I travel as a flight attendant or just in general, like I always feel like there's some aspect of it where I'm like, God, I'd be good at The Amazing Race because I'm like hustling around trying to figure things out. Like, I don't know. It just seems like it would be fun to me. And plus, you get to see the world on
Yeah,
somebody else's time.
that would be a good one. Because I was thinking, because I used to watch Survivor. I haven't seen Survivor forever, but even after the first Survivor ever, I kind of was upset with the way that ended because I felt like the guy who won, I think his name was Richard Poole, was kind of like was swarmy. He was like a real manipulative guy. But then I thought, well, man, that's kind of symbolic of how life is a lot of times, right? He was kind of manipulating people, and then he got to the top at the end, but nobody liked him, but he still got to the top and won the $1 million. So, you know, but I thought that kind of looked like fun because everything going on. But hey, if I could be on the Amazing Race with you, that's the one I'd probably want to be on. Oh wait, it wasn't Richard Poole. Richard Poole's watching. It was wait a minute, hang on. Now we
I
got
thought you meant to say that. I was like, oh my
my
God.
favorite guy. Hang on. First winner
Oh my gosh.
of Amazing Race. Hang on, Richard Poole. I'm sorry, buddy. I got the wrong.
You mean Survivor?
Oh, of
Survivor?
Survivor. Why am I thinking? See, I'm thinking of Richard Poole all the time. 20 cents. Winner of Survivor. His name was Richard, though. I'm pretty sure. Hang on. Why did I say who?
Richard says Hatch.
Richard Hatch. Okay, Richard Hatch. Okay, Richard Poole. I hope you realize I love you, buddy.
What I took away is Richard Poole's manipulative, but can make it to the top.
No.
But hey, no, I'm
Survivor
kidding.
was Richard Hatch. I know it was Richard. I said Richard Hatch. Richard Poole's who we love. Okay.
That was funny.
Richard Poole's our homie. Richard Hatch won Survivor. That was the first winner of Survivor, and he won Survivor, and I was like, dang, dude, that guy, because the other guy on Survivor was this old dude, and I forget his name, but I wanted him to win, and I was like, you know how I get over things. And, yeah,
survived Ohio Pizza last Friday, or OH Pizza, I mean.
That's a true survivor right there. So I would like to be on it. I mean, Amazing Race, that sounds like a good one, and that would be, I think I would go on that one. You know, if we could go on that one. Now that you mentioned that one, that'd probably be the best one to go on. Seems like the most fun, and everything like that. So, well, I mean, that's a lot of info, Kristen. So what's next for you?
Well, 4 weeks in this boot. I don't know. I don't have anything too exciting to report. You know, I'm a little limited. It's like living in COVID world all over again because I can't really go out for a walk. I can't drive. You know, so it's not fun. But hey, at least I have my leg.
Yeah, that sucks. That sucks. But at least you have your leg. Yeah, it could be. But yeah, so you ran a marathon and then you hurt your foot, right?
Yeah. Like literally, I landed and then the following day I broke my foot.
Oh,
walking.
Just walking.
Just walking. I had on a bad pair of shoes and kind of slipped out and hit my foot on the cement.
Now, do you think the run had anything to do with it?
You know, people have said that, like, well, did it weaken your foot or anything? I don't know. There are no answers.
Huh.
Or maybe it was just a sign that I needed to slow down.
Ooh, symbolism.
Yep, take a break.
Take a break.
Literally
take a break, and it gave you a break.
Yep.
Oh, damn. Well, we'll see. Well, keep going. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah,
so.
It is what it is. What a dumb saying. It is
what it is. It's a broken foot. Tough luck.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's cool. Well, I mean, that's not cool, but it was good to have you on here, Kristen, and you know, for again to see you. I'm glad.
Thanks, George, for the good questions. It's I of course I always enjoy talking about it because to me it's very fascinating. It's like the more I learn, the more I learn. Like I never stopped learning something new about like all of that.
Now, if somebody's interested in trying to do what you do, how would they go about it, or would they already know?
No, they might not necessarily know. I mean, I took an online course is how I started. So, and you know, anybody can do it. I've been in lots of classes and things. My friend also teaches a lot of really great courses, but you know, I've been in a lot of classes where people who don't want to do it, like, you know, professionally also just take the class so they can better understand like how they can connect with their loved ones and things like that. So there are online classes that are good, and you can always message me. I can give recommendations of people.
That's good. Okay, Kristen.
Well, all right. We'll have fun in Atlanta.
All right. See you on the next one.
All
see you. Bye, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.